Don't wait for tomorrow. Live for today. Keep chasing the sunshine and go out and play.
And good day, everyone. Welcome to another episode of JK's Deal Reveal. And today, we're going to find out if a hood chuck could chuck wood, would you buy that hood chuck? All right. So, what is he talking about? So, first of all, I want to say a couple of things. Remember that on our Facebook group, the U.S. Real Estate Investing Club, now for tomorrow, we are constantly giving you value, giving you motivation, giving you tricks, and so is the community. So if you're not already on the Facebook group, go there. A U.S. Real Estate Investing Club now for tomorrow. So what about this hood chuck? All right, well, because today we are going to take a look at a deal in Ohio, which happens to be in the hood. All right, this is a property in East Cleveland for $21,500. Whoa, right? We're going to see what this property is about and seeing if we can buy an investment property for $20,000 and if it would be a deal or no deal. We're going to look at it lightning fast like we usually do and maybe have some tremendous cash flow when and where the numbers make sense. So thank you, Sharon, for submitting this deal to the deal reveal. And I want to remind you all of two things here. You've got two things to do. One, you've got to say, is this a deal or no deal? At any point in the next 5 to 10 minutes, you can chime in and say if it's a deal or no deal. And if you've got a deal that you'd like to submit for next week or coming weeks, coming months, if you've got a deal that's on the fence and you would like some validation on your deal, submit it in. And we're going to take a look at it together and ultimately decide if it's deal or no deal, and maybe even have the next step or two on your journey to adding it or not to your investment portfolio. So that's what the deal reveal is all about. Let's begin. All right. So first and foremost, well, welcome to everybody online real quick. Amanda, Joff, Jamie, Lily, Sam, Sterling, Zook, and all of the extended Facebook family as well. So start the timer. Here we go. We have the address that we can plop into, say, realtor.com. I want to see what type of property it is, and I want to see how much it's worth, where it's located, generally speaking. So it's a 3-1, it seems, a single family home, 1,500 square foot. And we are definitely confirming it is in East Cleveland, 44112, right off of Superior happening here. And I want to go see what might this property be worth. I've really been loving realtor.com lately, but you can go to Zillow for the Zestimate. You can go on Redfin. You can go on iComps. You can go on the Bank of America estimator. There's a bunch of places you can go for an opinion or an algorithm of value. And look at this. All right, they're saying it might be worth about $49,000. And I want to go into this right here, because 3 different assessments of value here, Quantarium, CoreLogic, Collateral Analytics, are all 3 giving their opinion of this property's value over time. And if I go to today, boom, we have one saying it's worth $50,000, $49,900, one's worth $65,000, one's worth $33,000, okay? And so what's for sure here is we're not above, it doesn't seem like we're really above 60,000. Looks like we'd probably be somewhere between that 50, 60,000 range for this single family home, which is hard to finance, hard to refinance, but ultimately, heck, you may be picking it up for $21,000. So is it worth it? That's only part of the story because I don't have any pictures here, all right? It's very easy in these low value properties to get really out of hand with the renovations, right? Because sure, a $20,000 or say a $40,000 renovation job on a property that's worth $100,000, it's less of a big proportion compared to a $20,000 property that you're putting 40 into it, right? Especially if the value is only 50, 60,000, you can see you can quickly put too much money compared to what the value of the property is. Because the first golden rule of real estate is buy at a discount. So you have to buy and renovate, fix it up real nice for less than its value. And its value, we seem to say, is around $50,000 to $65,000 real quick. Okay. So I don't know the condition of this property. So maybe we can open up another page here. Maybe Zillow has a few pictures that we can take a look at. Maybe not. Otherwise, we're gonna have to go in blind and make some assumptions for this property that it's either turnkey or not turnkey. Right? Zillow doesn't even have his estimate. We don't have any pictures to run off here, so I have no idea. Just keep in mind, if you're paying 20 and it's worth 50, you really can't put more than 30 into it, because then you'd be paying overpriced. You can just turn around and buy something, turnkey at full market value, and you'd avoid the risk and the cost and the management of a renovation project altogether. Okay, so that's all we can say here. Now we have a max rehab budget in mind based on the value. So if you're having a conversation with the seller, the realtor, the gatekeeper, the wholesaler, and they're starting to size up, oh, it needs this and this and this, well, this is a good indicator that maybe it's not, you're not buying at a discount. Second thing, which is probably going to be the more interesting one, is second rule, golden rule, is cash flow. Are you buying cash flow? So buying a property for 20,000, a 3-bed, 1-bath, will most likely cash flow. But let's take a look at it. Okay, East Cleveland. Ooh, not very many comparables in this. In fact, they only have one data point. All right. So yes, you see all the numbers are the same here because they're taking all their data from the same data point right here. And honestly, this property may not even be in Cleveland, East Cleveland. It is, there's a good chance it's in Cleveland Heights, actually. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're just going to try to get a little bit more data points. All right, we're going to expand that search radius, right, to go get a few more data points around here, okay? And as much as possible, we're going to want to exclude the high ends that are coming in because we are in East Cleveland. Surprisingly, the 25th percentile is still $1,000. It still is a 3-bedroom single family home, but you do see here on the rentometer here that the lower ones, these greens over here, which are in the East Cleveland side of what we're looking at, run as low as $800 for a 3-bedroom. So, just because I do have local knowledge, it might be possible with a decent renovation to get your $1,100 in rent. It's possible. In East Cleveland, in this area, I'm not too hot about it. So I'm going to say 900. Okay, let's just use that number, 900. That way you don't have to do a crazy big renovation. You can just make it rent ready. And for 900 on a single family, I'm pretty sure you're going to get it. All right. So let's run with that, 900. Oops, that'd be a bit more a month, wouldn't it? So $900, 12 months a year. And we are in Cleveland, East Cleveland. With these low value properties like this, you can use a 55% expense ratio. 45% expense ratio, so a multiplier of 0.55 to figure out really quick how much in 1 year do you expect to make net from this property. So we're making almost 6,000, 5,940 from this property. And now if you want to see how strong your dollars are working, you take this, which is the net income you make in 1 year out of this property, and you divide it by its all-in purchase price. So if this was really a turnkey property, rent ready or already tenanted, ready to go for 21.5, this would be a 28 cap property. Okay, that's what this would be. And we've purchased properties above a 28 cap in this type of area, not recently, but know that it's possible, very rare. And if you do see it, maybe, even though it's East Cleveland, pay attention to it. Maybe this is really the diamond in the rough. I'll get to that in just a minute. But let's say you really do need to put some money in, which I would expect at that price point, and you probably need to put in $30,000, $40,000. So let's say you have to put in $30,000. You buy it for 20, you put in 30, you're all in for 50, maybe it's worth 60 and you buy with $10,000 discount. But let's see what the numbers would be. If you put in 30 and bought it for 20, you'd be all in for 50. If you're making about 6,000 a year and it costs you 50,000 to buy the property and fix it up, get it cash flowing, well, you are now at a 11.9 cap after the end of that project, which on a single family is still a fairly strong number. A double-digit cap rate on a single family home is strong, just period. It's a strong, because there's only one rental income coming in. It's only that one $900 or that one 800 or that or that 1,000 or 11 or 1,200, whatever that one rental income might be. There's just one. Whereas the duplex, you could almost double. So maybe a 3-bedroom apartment rents for 800 and a 3-bedroom home rents for 1,000, right? It's clearly not double or half, depending on the way you look at it. So this is what we have so far. I am guessing that there's probably at least 30,000 of work, just as a spitball, but maybe it's turnkey. Well, that's why it might be worth picking up the phone. So if you have 30,000 of work, you're probably buying at about $10,000 at a discount. You're paying 50 and it's worth 60-ish, and you're buying about a 12 cap. Is that a deal or no deal? That's a good question to ask. Deal or no deal? We are in East Cleveland, right? I do have to remind you that, because that might be a deal-breaking criteria for you, okay? So just be cautious. If you are looking in the hood, in those really rough areas where they don't recycle because, you know, there's just no social services. Police don't report the crime that goes on there because they're understaffed, undermanned, underfunded. The city is almost bankrupt. So if you're investing in that type of area, a couple of things. One, make sure you have at least 3 management companies that are comfortable with that property. At least 3 professional management companies, so that if one decides to flake or whatever, you got someone to call to readily switch gears. Second thing to keep in mind is, oh, I lost my thought. Give me a second here. Second thing to keep in mind if you're buying in East Cleveland is really to pay attention to those renovation costs. Because if you're buying super, super cheap, it doesn't make it a great deal. And even a 12 cap single family does not excite me in East Cleveland. If we're at a 25, 28 cap, okay, I'm going to really seriously pay attention. In fact, I'm going to close my eyes and put in that offer and get it under contract. I'll do my due diligence in the due diligence phase to make sure I can get management, that the renovations are in check, that the street, is somewhat walkable, etc. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to say. Don't make your entire portfolio in these high risk, high reward areas. That's the second big thing I wanted to say regarding East Cleveland and hoodchuck type areas. Okay, so that's our deal reveal for today. So I saw one thumbs up. Is this a deal or no deal given what we have discovered in the last 5-ish minutes? All right, we have a no deal. All right, no deal from Amanda, and that's perfectly fine, right? Keep in mind here, we are coming across what I call a deal-breaking criteria. This is just something I don't want to handle regardless of what the numbers. I might be buying a 50 cap, I don't care, because too far from a Walmart, right? Too high crime. We have too large of a project. Management is too hard to find, or reliable management. Like Sterling says, need more information. Okay, don't let that stop you from putting it under contract. You can get the more information down the line. Right now, we want just enough to say, is this lining up to be a good deal, or does it have the bones of a good deal right now in 5 minutes? You can analysis paralysis for 3 weeks after this once you're in the due diligence period. But if this really was a 28 cap and you said, well, I need more information, I'm not sure. Well, I guarantee someone else is going to say, holy, look at these numbers. And maybe they're comfortable with the rougher area. They've already got management in place because they bought other investment properties. So they're comfortable. They go in, boom, they lock it up. Then they do their full due diligence, and they can ultimately then decide to buy or not buy that investment property for their portfolio. So what else do we have? Sukinder might be a deal, but it's close. Need more information. All right. Well, while everyone's looking for more information, maybe someone else is grabbing it up. But true words of caution, though, when it comes to East Cleveland, before you pull the trigger, do some research on the city, have conversations with property managers regarding properties in this area. It is still case by case. I mean, we do own properties that are right on the border of East Cleveland, and we love that property. Absolutely love it. And in fact, we are soon this summer going to be converting it to a short-term rental. I guess we didn't learn our lesson with the 10plex. So it's it's a multifamily that we're going to convert into a short-term rental, which is right on the fringe of the hood. And so we're going to test it out one more time in a different way. It's going to be much more controlled, a lower budget renovation and theme, and we'll see how it goes. So stay posted on that. So that's our deal reveal for this evening. Hope you enjoyed. For those of you who are part of the Now for Tomorrow Club, I'll see you at 8, and where we are going to have a JK Alliance segment, a spotlight mastermind on one of our members. And so we hope it's you next time or next month. We do this once a month with our Now for Tomorrow Club members. So have a great week and evening, everyone. And for those in the group, we'll see you in just a little bit. I will remind you that we have the Epic Blueprint coming up in October. And if by sending an email, you can RSVP your spot, we have early bird specials where we're locking in the price based on last time, because this time the prices are going to go up a little bit, but we're bringing a ton more value, including accommodations in that price. So it's a better deal. But if you want to be locked into last round's price, send us an email, info@nowfortomorrow.club. This is probably going to only stay up for about another week-ish. In a week, the early bird special, I believe, is going to go away. So if you're interested, join us and do Now for Tomorrow. Have a great evening, everyone.